Well, thank you for joining the Aviation Business Podcast as we are getting ready to celebrate our 3-year anniversary. We're revisiting some of our early episodes that were the most listened to, that have some great concepts in the form that they were presented. And as you do a podcast, you continue to grow and get better and improve in a general context. And so we are having a lot of fun revisiting these early episodes. And one that was listened to about as much as any of them was the episode on the basics of risk management. And every business has risks. And so having an understanding of how to manage and mitigate them, and even a system to do so, is key, especially in the aviation business. Safety management systems are kind of a key buzzword and a practice today, and they are a larger form of risk management. It kind of mixes project management, quality management, risk management, and a system of evaluation to continue to operate at the safest, highest levels possible. And so this is just a basic understanding of the risk management and a simple system for utilizing risk management in your business. So let's head now back about 3 years to episode 13, the basics of risk management.
When growing a business, you face a number of potential risks that can threaten your business in a number of ways. The loss of assets, income, liability to others, financial liabilities, among others. Risk management is the process utilized to control and limit losses to your business. That process includes identifying, analyzing, and mitigating risk. In general, there are 4 primary ways, or a combination thereof, that are used to treat and control a risk. The first is to avoid the risk. That is, to stop doing a risky activity or dispose of the asset causing the risk. Number 2 is to reduce the risk. So you want to limit the risky activity and or take proactive actions to limit the risk to your business. So number 1, avoid the risk. Number 2, reduce. The third risk treatment is to transfer the risk. Many people do this via contractual agreement. You transfer the risk for a particular action to a contractor or a party you're doing business. And in more situations, you transfer the risk to an insurance company. You have the risk of your building burning down, your car getting into a wreck. So you purchase insurance and transfer the risk to the insurance company, who will reimburse you or indemnify you your loss in the event of a loss in exchange for premium. In the process of risk analysis, most risks can be assigned into one of 4 categories based on the frequency of losses and the potential severity of these potential losses. For each category, there is a standard risk management treatment typically utilized to mitigate the risk. The first category is low risk and low severity. The treatment for this category is to retain the risk because it is low risk and low severity. The second category is low risk and high severity. And in this case, you want to transfer the risk to an insurance company. The next category is high risk and low severity. So this is where you want to reduce the risk or transfer via a contract or insurance. And then there is high risk combined with high severity. And in that case, you just want to avoid the risk, get rid of it, discharge of the assets. So low risk and low severity is a good opportunity to retain the risk. You can afford that and control it. Low risk, high severity, you transfer the risk to an insurance company or some other tool or mechanism. High risk and low severity, reduce the risk or transfer it. High risk, high severity, avoid the risk. Most aviation exposures fall into the low risk, high severity category. So aircraft owners in aviation business typically address their aviation risks by transferring the bulk of the potential or pure financial loss to an insurance company by purchasing an insurance policy. The insurance policy is a legal contract set to indemnify you or return you to whole in the event of a direct loss. To indemnify, the concept of indemnification is to restore the insured to the condition they were in prior to the loss. So we're going to give you a building the size and particular type of construction that it was prior to the loss. We're not going to replace a wood building with a building made of solid gold, is the concept the insurance company has. So that means the insured is not to benefit from the loss, but to be brought to the status they would have been had the loss not occurred. Risk management is a simple process in nature, as outlined here, but can be much more involved and treated in much more complex ways as operations get larger and more complex in nature. However, the majority of aircraft owners and operators will find this concise information will provide them a general understanding for their benefit.
So take your business to a higher altitude by being able to utilize, implement, and review a risk management system in your organization. Well, here's your aviation fun fact for the day. And today we're going back to May 10th of 1925, where we saw the first flight of the prototype Armstrong Whitworth Atlas, which was a British single-engine biplane. The Armstrong Whitworth Atlas was a British single-engine biplane designed by Armstrong Whitworth Aircraft, obviously. It served as an Army cooperation aircraft for the Royal Air Force in the 1920s and 30s. It was the first purpose-designed aircraft of the Army cooperation type to serve with the Royal Air Force. And again, this one bids a Google search and to see what you can find for images on this one on the internet. So that's your aviation fun fact for the day. Until next time, keep your wheels up and your attitude high.
Thanks for listening to the Aviation Business Podcast. If you found this episode of value, please share with someone who could benefit from its content. You can stay up to date by subscribing in iTunes or your podcast player of choice. This episode is brought to you by Aris Insurance Solutions, your flight plan for navigating the turbulence in aviation insurance. To find out more, go to arisinsurance.com. That's AERIS insurance.com.